When the holidays start to feel a bit repetitive, reach for a Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry and put your twist on tradition. A bold cranberry and winter spice flavor fusion, Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry is a refreshing way to shake things up this sipping season. And only for a limited time. Sprite. Obey your thirst.
In Walmart Sue time was ticking away. Only a few nights left till the big holiday. But last-minute gifters had no need to worry. Walmart Express Delivery got their gifts in a hurry. From Nintendo to Nespresso and Lego flowers, they could check off their lists in as fast as an hour. All of Newville, East, West, South, and North could order gifts up until 5 p.m. on December 24th. So this holiday, just do as the Who's do. With gift delivery this fast, they all gasped. From Walmart? Who knew? Subject to availability, terms and fees apply.
As the year's coming to a close, guys, we're going to be doing my 2025 worst albums of the year. How y'all doing? Welcome to Let's Talk About It Music Reviews Season 11. How y'all doing? Welcome to the show. Guys, Season 11's officially ending. It's been that type of time. It's been really coming up very much soon, and goddamn. It's been a hell of a year. I can't even lie to y'all. You know, my year's been kind of crazy, you know, from my personal life, from, you know, my content life of covering all this type of music that's dropped. We even tried to do a sports show, which, you know, didn't really work out. But hey, you know, moving into 2025, guys, I'm moving out of it. I can tell y'all this, you know, 2026 is definitely going to be an interesting year for content, especially for this show. We're really going to go kind of crazy, you know, with everything. I mean, I got a lot of ideas, which we will. It's going to be very, very soon once I go over my, you know, 2026 content plans, which is coming up very, very soon. Guys, let's go over the 2025 worst albums of the goddamn year, because I have consumed so many fucking albums this year. It has just been kind of crazy in my opinion. And honestly, I think this is probably one of the years where I consume some of the worst music that I've heard in my goddamn life. You know, my 5 years, going on to 6, my 5 years of doing this show, I think this is probably some of the worst content that I've, you know, consumed in my 5 years. So this is some of the worst content that I've consumed. And let's talk about it. I actually have a full-ass list. We're going to go over it. You know, there's some things that, you know, at the time that I did the review that I didn't think it was the worst album. And then later down the line, as I re-listened to it, or as I, you know, remember it or whatever, I'm like, you know, I didn't really mess with that much, you know, later times. But let's get into my worst albums. I think we're going to go from newest to oldest, because I think that's, you know, just how it should work. Now, of course, I've already done episodes for all of these albums. If you want to go dive deep and, you know, go figure out, you know, my exact thoughts about these projects, I will be real. So yeah, let's get into it. 2025 worst albums of the year. Starting off strong, let's talk about 21 Savage. What happened to the streets? ? Yeah. What happened to this album? You know, I really tried to give this album a chance. I was really excited for it when it first dropped. I stayed up all night to check it out. Guys, I'll be real. You know, there was only a couple of tracks that I really enjoyed that I feel like that had actually something to it. And then as I kept listening to the album, I kept going, oh, wait a second, this project's kind of ass. This project, you know, just doesn't really sound that goddamn good in my opinion. So, really disappointed with 21 Savage on here. I just think this is one of the worst projects that I've ever listened to in my goddamn life. And, I mean, it is really disappointing to say 21 Savage has done that, but goddamn. There wasn't even a song that I was like, man, this is fucking heat, this is goddamn fire. There was just songs where I was just like, alright, it gets the goddamn job done, but that's about it. So, kind of disappointing on that front. What happened to the streets? Kind of a disappointing release. And another disappointing release is Lil Baby, The Leaks. Lil Baby was supposed to drop a whole another album. I mean, we knew he was going to be dropping another album, and he had promo for this album, and then he just never dropped the goddamn album. And then he later did Wham Wednesdays and did this whole other promo thing, and then dropped a whole ass another album. So, I was already not going to enjoy this because The Leaks is the fucking ass, the fucking shit, the fucking whatever the fuck did I hear. Alright, this is like Lil Baby went to the bathroom and, fucking took a shit and then put it on his fucking album. And this is what you get to hear because, like, man, from track 1 to 14, every single track has been so ass or either so generic that I'm just rolling my eyes. I'm just going like, what the fuck am I doing here listening to this? I heard the worst Young Thug feature in my goddamn life. I mean, it is just mind-blowing how horrible that shit sounds. It is just wild to me how shitty this album sounds. From the features, from the beats, from the verses, every fucking thing. But I don't think, Lil Baby's album could be, summed up as so ass than Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is another terrible album that I listened to this year. I remember I listened to her Cancel track, and I was like, I like the Cancel track. I thought that track was actually pretty good. And then I get into the album, and I just have such a bad time listening to it. It was pretty bad. There was only a couple of tracks that I even enjoyed. The rest of the album was just so bad. From production-wise, from vocal-wise, from even Taylor Swift-wise. I feel like we were just kind of, regurgitating every fucking thing in existence. So, disappointing on that front. This is probably one of my most disappointing drops this year. Because I was waiting for this album. I knew Taylor Swift was going to drop. But was she going to drop a good-ass project? And the answer was fucking no. Did not drop a good project at all. Doja Cat, Vi, or V, whatever the fuck this 80s album was called. This album is so bad. From the vocal-wise, from the flow-wise, the same ass, like, generic rap verse that she recycles for the whole entire album. It is just mind-blowing how shitty this fucking album sounds, in my opinion. Young Thug, You Scotty. Man, Young Thug. I thought Young Thug was going to come out of the prison and he was going to drop some fucking heat. Young Thug was going to be back and he's going to be dropping music. No. Man gets exposed for pillow talking on prison calls. Man gets exposed for being fake or whatever the fuck. And then the music comes out, and the music is supposed to, drive all that shit away because, like, the music is so fire, who the fuck cares? And then the music is so ass that I just want to, like, drown myself after listening to this terrible-ass album. This album was so bad that I have completely removed my life for any new Young Thug music. Every time Young Thug drops now, I want to kill myself. I'm going to go, I want to kill myself because this shit's going to sound so fucking ass. It is crazy how Young Thug sounds so terrible on this album. The rap verses don't sound good at all. The production is so bad that my eyes are just completely rolling to the back of their head. I mean, they're rolling so back that they might, like, pop out of my fucking head because that's how terrible this goddamn album sounds. It's just so mind-blowing. From the verses, from the production, Young Thug, You Scotty is so bad that I was like, man, what are we even doing here? But an album that is also really terrible is Lil Wayne, The Carter 6. Man, I did not know Lil Wayne was going to drop an album, especially the Carter series. I mean, we didn't know. I had no idea this was going to drop. And then it drops, and I am just left absolute speechless. From the features alone, from the beats selection alone, like, there's a track where he raps about an elephant and peanuts, and I'm just, like, mind-blown how shitty this album can sound. I mean, Lil Wayne has definitely had a fall-off period in recent times, with his newer music, but this is a new low. There was even a track with Jelly Roll. And, I know people might say, but Jelly Roll's not that bad. I'm gonna be real. Jelly Roll sounds fucking ass. And when you have a Jelly Roll feature on the Carter series, what are we doing? You know, it's like if Lil Wayne on any of the Carters gets pop artists or something like that. It's just like, man, can we not do that? Can we, like, rap our ass off? Can we, like, do something a little bit different? Like, come on. Carter 6 is so ass. Another album that I absolutely fucking hated was Morgan Wallen, I'm the Problem. Yes, Morgan Wallen, you are the goddamn problem. This was a 30-track, almost 3-hour album listening experience, and I had such a bad time, such a rough time listening to this album, that I can tell y'all, there was only one track that I actually enjoyed, that I would consider putting on my personal playlist. One whole track. Out of all of the other songs on this album, there was only one that I could say that I actually liked.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit lifelock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Oh, Hilton stay, your beds are soft and cozy. No lumpy couch, no stiff futon, no shower line at crack of dawn. Oh, Hilton stay, a holiday you're saving.
When you want holiday comfort you can count on, it matters where you stay. This season, enjoy spacious, comfortable rooms and friendly service when you book with Hilton instead. Hilton for the stay.
The lyrics from this album, the production from this album, everything about this fucking album is so shit, so ass, that I'm just left here completely goddamn speechless. Morgan Wallen dropped such a bad album, it is just mind-blowing how this shit even came out. I knew from the singles that this was going to be a rough experience because the singles coming out were just not it, but goddamn, this whole album was just so bad. Lisa, Alter Ego, this was a K-pop solo artist album. I did not really enjoy this. There was only like a couple of tracks that I actually enjoyed. There was like one that I liked because of the music video. Other than that, it was just kind of your basic ass rap formula tracks, your basic ass R&B tracks. A lot of tracks that kind of reminded me of like 2000s like Wiz Khalifa rap, and it just didn't really work together in my opinion. I'll just be honest with you. So yeah, didn't really enjoy that, but it's just kind of whatever in my opinion. It gets the job done, but I didn't really like it. And for my last album of the 2025 year to talk about, what's one of the worst albums to end off this goddamn forsaken 2025 year is Drake's and Party Next Door's collab album, Some Sexy Songs for You. I honestly can't believe this is a real project because, like, you know, there's moments in this album where I'm just laughing my ass off. Like, Party Next Door sounds so terrible, sounds so goddamn awful, that it just completely blows my goddamn mind. Makes me fucking go, man, what in the hell are we actually doing here? And also the fact, too, is that Drake, there was only a few tracks that I could say Drake even had a good performance in. I feel like Drake just kind of like lost himself in this album. And it's just like, what the fuck are we even doing? I mean, it's just mind-blowing how terrible these projects have been. And that's kind of how I feel about 2025 music in a whole. So guys, when we get into this year, when we talk about 2025, when we're ending off on the holiday week, Christmas is coming up. I mean, goddamn, it's beautiful out there. I'm gonna say this. You know, I've reviewed a lot of music in my life, but I can tell y'all that 2025 was one of the worst years of music. I mean, one of the worst. There was only a few albums that I'm gonna be talking about in the best albums of the year, because there were so many shit albums that I checked out this year that it just blows my mind. But let me know, guys, did y'all have a favorite album of the year? Did you have some worst albums of the year? Let me know. I'm down to hear both. If you got a list for both, I'm down to hear both. I don't even care if you don't even have no worst albums of the year. If you're like, damn, every album I fucking checked out was so fire, hey, good for you. Sadly, that wasn't for me. There was a lot of albums here that I just could not get behind at fucking all. Thank y'all so much for checking out this episode. Thank you so much for checking out the podcast for the whole entire year, for checking out season 11. You know, happy Christmas, guys. Happy holidays. We're going to be having more content coming out. We're going to be doing my best albums of the year. I'll be a little bit more excited, be a little bit more, cheerful for that one. If you don't want to hear me just shitting on albums, we're going to get into some shit that I really like this year. So I'm going to be doing that the next day, so make sure y'all look out for that. And I'll see y'all already have a good one. If you're on YouTube, Spotify, Pandora, wherever you get your podcast at, make sure you follow, turn on notifications, guys. We're dropping new content every single day. And I'll see y'all already have a good one.
Discover Mercer Labs Museum of Art and Technology in New York City, where creativity meets innovation. This holiday season, immerse yourself in a world of interactive exhibits, digital masterpieces, and unforgettable experiences. Whether you're with family, friends, or exploring solo, Mercer Labs invites you to see art and technology in a whole new light. Get your tickets now at mercerlabs.com and redefine your museum experience.
Yeah, guys.